The prison they call CECOT is not just a place of walls and bars, it is a symbol of fear. It was built in El Salvador, a country torn apart by gangs for decades. When people heard about it, they imagined something out of a nightmare. But the truth is even darker. This is not a prison for ordinary criminals. This is where the government locks away the most feared gang members in the world. Tens of thousands of them. 13 Barrio 18. Names whispered in fear across Central America. Men who once ruled the streets, who killed without hesitation, who controlled entire cities. Now they are trapped behind concrete, steel, and endless surveillance. The government calls it the Terrorism Confinement Center. But to the prisoners, it feels like the end of existence itself. The walls are higher than hope. The gates heavier than freedom. Soldiers guard the outside 24 hours a day. Snipers are stationed on the towers. Inside, cameras capture every single step. Every shadow is recorded. There is no privacy, no escape, no mercy. When inmates arrive, they are stripped of everything. Their heads are shaved. Their tattoos exposed like scars of another life. They are chained together, walking barefoot across the cold floor. Their hands locked behind their heads. They march in silence. The guards scream, but the prisoners do not answer. They know resistance is pointless. They know the game is over. In this place, even the strongest gang member becomes just a number with no rights, a number with no name. Their families are not allowed to visit. No hugs, no letters, no voices from the outside. It is total isolation. Prisoners who once ordered murders now wait for a bag of rice and beans. Food comes in plastic bags. There is no taste, only survival. Water is limited. The air is heavy with sweat and fear. Cells are overcrowded. Dozens of men in one small space. They sleep on the floor. Concrete is their bed. The lights never fully go out. Sleep is a struggle. Silence is broken only by orders and chains. The guards move with rifles in their hands. Their eyes are cold. Their boots echo against the walls. Every sound reminds the prisoners of power. Every moment reminds them of defeat. Here there is no rehabilitation. There is no second chance. The purpose is control. The purpose is to erase the gang's influence. Prisoners who once terrified neighborhoods now tremble inside these walls. Some still try to act tough. They stare at the guards with defiance. But even they know the truth. CECOT is stronger than them. It is bigger than them. And it is built to break them. Day after day, the prisoners live in the same cycle. Wake up on the floor. Eat the same food. Drink the same water. Walk in chains. Be counted like cattle. Go back to the floor. There is no freedom of thought. There is no time for dreams. The gangs inside cannot organize. They cannot command the outside world. Because every word, every gesture is watched. The guards record everything. The system is designed for silence. The prison is like a machine, and the prisoners are the gears. But these gears no longer turn. They are stuck. They are locked. They are crushed. The government shows these images to the world. Prisoners lined up, half-naked, chained, shaved, silent. It looks like something from another century. But it is happening right now. In the 21st century. In front of cameras. Broadcast across the internet. Some people cheer. They say justice has been served. They say the streets are safer now. Mothers can let their children walk outside. Fathers can go to work without fear of extortion. For the first time in years, people feel a little safer. But others see something else. They see brutality. They see human rights violations. They see men treated worse than animals. The debate rages on. But inside CECOT, the debate doesn't matter. Inside, only survival matters. The prisoners whisper to each other when they can. They remember the outside world. They remember their neighborhoods. They remember their families. Some cry in silence. Some rage in silence. But silence is all they have. Even crying feels dangerous. Because weakness is noticed. And weakness can be punished. The gangs used to control the prisons in El Salvador. Before CECOT they had phones, drugs, weapons. They gave orders to soldiers on the outside. But now the rules have changed. Now the gangs have nothing. No phones, no knives, no secret tunnels. Just walls, just guards, just endless time. The days blend into each other. Morning feels the same as night. A week feels the same as a month. Time is meaningless here. Only chains are real. Only hunger is real. Only fear is real. The walls are painted white, but the air feels black. Black with despair. Black with hopelessness. Some men lose their minds. They talk to themselves. They see things that aren't there. The prison eats them alive. Others turn cold, emotionless. They stare at nothing. They wait for nothing. They become ghosts in their own bodies. But the guards don't care. The government doesn't care. People outside barely care. Because for them these men are monsters. Monsters who once killed fathers. Monsters who once kidnapped sons. Monsters who once demanded money from poor shopkeepers. The nation wants revenge. And CECOT delivers revenge. Every moment is punishment. Every day is torture without touch. Some prisoners believe they will never leave. They will die inside. And maybe that is true. Because CECOT was built not for freedom, but for forever. Forever walls. Forever chains. Forever silence. For El Salvador, it is both a solution and a warning. A solution to gang terror. A warning to anyone who dares continue it. Step out of line and this is where you go. Raise a gun and this is where you end. CECOT is not a prison. It is a message carved in steel and stone. A message written to the whole world. A message that says, power can be caged, fear can be chained, terror can be buried alive. But the cost is heavy. The cost is human lives trapped in eternal punishment. And once you enter, there is no way back. The prison does not forget you. The guards do not forgive you. The system does not release you. You are here until time stops. And even then, the walls will still stand. CECOT does not end. CECOT only swallows. And the men inside, they vanish into its mouth, one by one, until only silence remains. And that silence echoes far beyond the prison walls. It echoes into the streets, into the homes, into the hearts of a nation that remembers the gangs. And now remembers what happens to them. The men inside CECOT wake up to the same routine every morning. There is no alarm clock, only the sound of metal doors slamming. The guards shout, their voices echoing through the long corridors. The prisoners rise slowly, their bones stiff from the cold floor. They stretch their hands, still cuffed, still chained. The day begins like the last one, and like the one before that. Time is frozen here. Every day feels identical. Every moment is stripped of meaning. The cells are so crowded that men must sleep shoulder to shoulder. Some sit while others lie down. They take turns to rest. Concrete is their bed, their pillow, their blanket. The smell of sweat, blood, and despair hangs in the air. There is no escape from the odor of captivity. The toilets are inside the cells, visible to all. There is no privacy. There is no dignity. The guards bring food in small bags. Rice and beans. Sometimes a piece of bread. Always the same. Never enough. The prisoners eat quickly, afraid the guards will take it away. Hunger has become their permanent companion. It gnaws at them day and night. They drink water from shared bottles. The taste is metallic, stale. But thirst is stronger than disgust. They drink anyway. The prison was built to crush the gang's spirit, to destroy their unity. And it works. Inside these walls there are no leaders. There are no soldiers. There are no messengers. Only men reduced to silence. The guards separate them constantly. They move them from one block to another. They shuffle them like cards. So no gang can control the flow. No one can build power here. Even whispers are dangerous. A single conversation can lead to punishment. And punishment here is brutal. Sometimes it means being beaten. Sometimes it means days without food. Sometimes it means total isolation. The cells used for punishment are smaller, darker. A man can barely breathe inside. No window, no light, Only darkness and the sound of his own thoughts. Days in isolation feel like years. The mind begins to crack. Some scream, some laugh, some beg for death. The guards do not listen. The guards do not care. To them, these men are not human anymore. They are enemies of the state. And enemies must be broken. The gangs once ruled El Salvador. They demanded money from every shop. They controlled buses, taxis, entire neighborhoods. Ordinary people lived in terror. One wrong word could mean death. One late payment could mean disappearance. The gangs believed they were untouchable. But now, inside CECOT, they see the truth. They are not gods. They are not kings. They are not invincible. They are caged animals. The guards remind them of this every day. The guards walk with rifles always ready. They wear masks so prisoners never see their faces. The message is clear. We are not afraid of you. We own you now. The prisoners try to resist in their minds. They tell themselves they are still strong. They whisper gang prayers under their breath. But their voices are weak. Their faith is breaking. The tattoos on their bodies, once symbols of fear, now look like scars of defeat. They cannot erase them. But they no longer give power. They only remind them of what they lost. Some prisoners think of their families. Mothers who will never see them again. Children who will grow up without fathers. Wives who may never touch their husbands again. But thinking of family is dangerous too. 'Cause it brings pain. Pain makes men weak. And weakness has no place here. So many choose to bury their feelings. They turn into stone. Emotionless. Unmoving. Silent. The silence of CECOT is heavy. It presses on the prisoners like a weight. Even laughter feels forbidden. No one dares to smile. There is nothing to smile about. The guards walk past and the silence deepens. Boots against concrete. Keys rattling. Metal doors slamming shut. These sounds are the music of captivity. The outside world feels like a dream. Sunlight feels like a dream. Fresh air feels like a dream. The men wonder if they will ever breathe it again. Some know they won't. They know they will die inside these walls. And when they die, no one will mourn them. No one will sing for them. No one will even speak their names. Their bodies will be buried. Their memories erased. Because to the government, they are not men. They are shadows that must be erased. The guards sometimes show no emotion at all. Other times they enjoy their power. They shout louder. They push harder. They remind the prisoners of their place. The gangs are nothing here. Only the prison matters. Only the state matters. The prisoners' eyes tell the story. Some burn with rage. Others drown in despair. But none of them shine with hope. Hope cannot survive here. The walls kill hope. Chains kill hope. The endless repetition kills hope. Day by day, their spirits wither. And yet the prison continues. Does not slow. Does not rest. Keeps swallowing men. Every week new buses arrive. More prisoners are unloaded. More chains. More shaved heads. More silence. The numbers grow. The cells grow tighter. The air grows heavier. But the guards remain in control. The government shows these images to the world as proof. Proof that El Salvador is winning the war against gangs. The world watches in shock. Some see strength. Some see cruelty. But everyone sees something unforgettable. The prisoners lined up like objects, kneeling in rows. Their backs bent, their heads bowed. They look less like men and more like defeated soldiers. Soldiers who lost a war they thought they could never lose. And now the prison celebrates its victory every day. Every day the prisoners wake up to chains. Every day they eat tasteless food. Every day they lie on the same floor. And every day they realize more deeply that they are trapped forever. No parole. No trials. No release dates. Only endless captivity. For some, madness is the only escape. For others, silence is the only weapon. But no weapon works here. No voice rises here. Only the sound of chains. Chains dragging across concrete. Chains clinking with every step. Chains reminding them of what they are now. Prisoners. just prisoners, no longer feared, no longer powerful, no longer free. Only broken pieces of men inside the belly of CECOT. And the belly is always hungry. It always wants more. It always swallows more. Because the war on gangs is not over. And CECOT is ready for whoever comes next. The walls are patient. The guards are patient. The silence is patient. Time itself waits for them to break. And in CECOT, everyone breaks eventually. The prison does not sleep. Even at night the lights stay on. The guards keep walking, their boots echoing in the dark. The cameras never stop recording. There is no moment of peace. The prisoners lie on the floor, staring at the ceiling. Some close their eyes but cannot rest. The noise of chains keeps them awake. The fear inside their chests keeps them awake. Dreams turn into nightmares. Nightmares turn into reality. There is no escape in sleep. Some whisper prayers, though they no longer believe. Others whisper curses, though no one listens. The silence of the prison swallows everything. In the darkness, time loses meaning. An hour feels like a day. Day feels like a year. And yet, outside the prison, the world keeps moving. People in El Salvador walk the streets more freely now. The murder rate has dropped. Extortion has slowed. Families dare to smile again. Children dare to play outside again. The government says this is the proof of victory. But the price of that victory is CECOT, a prison built to erase terror with terror. Inside, the prisoners become weaker every day. Their bodies shrink. Their muscles vanish. Their faces become hollow. Their eyes sink deep into their skulls. They look like ghosts of themselves. Some lose their hair. Some lose their teeth. All of them lose their pride. Because pride does not survive here. The guards crush it with every shout. The walls crush it with every day. And the prisoners, one by one, surrender. They stop fighting. They stop speaking. They stop believing. Only survival matters now. And even survival feels like punishment. There is no freedom inside these walls. Only chains. Only hunger. Only silence. The gangs once promised loyalty to their brothers. But inside CECOT, loyalty means nothing. No one can protect anyone. Everyone is alone. Everyone is broken. Everyone is forgotten. The tattoos on their bodies fade with time. Ink turns pale. Lines blur. The marks of fear become marks of weakness. They cannot erase their past. But they cannot live in it either. They are trapped between what they were and what they have become. Prisoners of their own choices. Prisoners of their own violence. And prisoners of a system that never forgives. The guards never smile. They never laugh. They look at the prisoners like objects. Numbers. Shadows. Not men. The prisoners sometimes wonder if they are still human. Or if they have become something else. Something less. The government calls them terrorists. People call them monsters. The prison calls them nothing. They are erased. Some men cry silently in the dark. Tears fall onto the cold concrete. No one sees them. No one cares. Other men grow colder. They harden like stone. They stare at nothing for hours. They move only when the guards order them. They are alive but not living. They are breathing but not free. The prison swallows their minds. Bends them. It breaks them. And when it breaks them, it keeps them anyway. 'Cause there is no release. No door that opens outward. No end to the sentence. They are here forever. People outside sleep better at night. They say justice has been done. But justice and cruelty look very similar inside these walls. The prisoners are no longer feared. They are no longer powerful. They are only forgotten. Forgotten by their families. Forgotten by their neighborhoods. Forgotten by the world. But the walls remember. The chains remember. The silence remembers. CECOT remembers everything. It was built not only to hold bodies but to hold memories. Memories of violence. Memories of pain. Memories of fear. The nation has buried its terror inside this prison. And the men inside have become the tombstones. Each one a reminder of what gangs did to El Salvador. Each one a warning of what happens to those who follow. The prison is more than a building. It is a message carved in concrete, a message written in silence, a message screamed in chains. It says, "This is the price of terror. This is the price of violence. This is the price of power abused. No one escapes this price. Not the leaders, not the soldiers, not the youngest recruit. All roads lead here. All violence ends here. All fear is buried here." But the question remains, to what cost? The government has control now. People have safety now. But thousands of men are buried alive in chains. Some innocent voices claim mistakes were made. Some say young men were taken with no proof. The prison does not care. The guards do not care. The walls do not care. Once you enter, you are gone. Gone from the streets. Gone from your family. Gone from life. CECOT eats your name. Eats your face. Eats your story. And it never spits it back. For the outside world, CECOT is a miracle of security. For the inside world, it is a grave. A grave with no flowers. A grave with no funerals. A grave that breathes. And the men inside are the bodies that will never rest. Every day they wake. Every day they eat. Every day they breathe. But every day they are dead already. Dead to freedom. Dead to family. Dead to the world. Only the prison keeps them alive enough to suffer. Only the prison keeps them alive enough to remember. The silence grows deeper with each year. The walls grow heavier with each year. The despair grows darker with each year. And yet the gates never open. The locks never turn. The chains never fall. This is CECOT, the most dangerous prison in the world. Not because men escape it, but because no one ever does. And in that silence, the prison waits. It waits for the next bus. It waits for the next chain. It waits for the next body. It waits for the next ghost to arrive. CECOT never sleeps. CECOT never ends. CECOT swallows everything. And once you enter, you are gone forever.